Welcome to the latest printed press. I'm Aishan Jamal, and tonight we've got a very special program for all our viewers. We're actually going to be looking at the most recognised overseas Turkish Cypriot charity in this country, and that is the Cyprus Islamic Association Al Hashim Trust. This is run by Huseyin Hoca. He's actually the founder of this charity, and we're going to be speaking to him about it. It's a very big charity organisation, and like I said, it's been given lots of awards and actually is now known as the most recognised overseas Turkish Cypriot charity in this country. So I thought that we should actually do a programme about it and talk to Huseyin Hoca about all the wonderful things that he's done. So I'm very pleased to have Huseyin Hoca on my show. Welcome, Huseyin Hoca. Yet again, how are you?
Welcome, Aishin. And a happy Friday, blessed Friday to everyone.
Yes, Joanna's hi Lawson. Yes, it's a special day as well. We normally would do our Ramadan program, but obviously Ramadan is over, and we were talking about your charity and what you told me about it. I thought it was absolutely amazing, and I thought that really we should do a program about it. First of all, tell us, because I've said to the audience, it's the most recognised charity overseas. Tell us about the awards that you've gained for your charity, first of all, before we go into the questions.
Yeah, just for all our viewers, thanks for tuning in today. It's the largest Turkish Cypriot overseas charity in the UK. So it's the largest UK Turkish Cypriot overseas charity, and it was recognised twice last year. First by TCCA, and we got the award 2019 award for the most active, and we had lots of support from the community. As you know, the awards are not done by the organisations, but by the public, and we got awarded for the best overseas charity, recognised charity. And then at the end of the year in 2019 by CTCA, the Conseil, we were again recognised, and just want to say thank you really to everybody who voted for the charity. They didn't vote for me, they actually voted for themselves, because this charity is our charity, it's the community's charity. Without their help, we wouldn't be able to do the wonderful things that we do across the globe.
Yeah, and we're going to go into all of the things that you do, Huseyin Hoca, and thank you very much for all the things that you do. It's absolutely amazing. We need these things. We need to be able to help not only ourselves in this country, but people overseas who are less fortunate than us. So it's commendable what you do. And obviously, I think you deserved it. And that's hence why so many associations recognise you and why the public chose your charity. If you could just tell our audience, why is that you felt the need to create a charity like this, first of all?
Well, ever since a young age, I've been always working with different charities, not playing major roles, but always being there and supporting different organisations, the Red Cross, the Red Crescent, even like Amnesty International, who do a lot of human rights. They're human rights activists. We used to raise funds for them for some of the projects they do. Islamic Relief, Muslim Aid, and some of the other little organisations that we don't really hear much on the media, like Human Relief, Human Help Relief, and Muslim Hands. And I was usually doing things in Ramadan for them, or maybe in the Kurban Bayram, just picking up funds. But the most active time I was with Islamic Relief during the Bosnian conflict. So during that time, and the war went on for quite a long time. It went on for several years, and a lot of Turkish Cypriots, they could actually relate to what was going on in Bosnia, and they felt for the people of Bosnia, seeing the screens every day portrayed on their TV screens of the plight of the people. And that's when people were calling me at that time and saying, "What can we do?" And the things that we done at that time was collecting clothes, food parcels. I remember going all the way up to Northampton, Birmingham to see Turkish Cypriots there. We hired a van, went to Southend. And I never forget, I had a call from a Turkish Cypriot family in Southend, and they said, "Make sure you come up with a van." And I've gone there, and you couldn't walk inside the house. The whole hallway was just stacked of food items, tin foods, rice, pasta, loads of clothes. And this family this family, amazing family. Not only was the hallway, but the garage. And I said, well, I'm not going to be able to do this on one trip. That was 7 trips that week. And that's how I started working in charity. And then I just felt upon myself that why can't we do something that directly? Because, you know, you hear so many rumors. Hoja, does the money really go to these people? You know, and I thought, let's see what I can do. And while I've been traveling around, I go to lots of different countries, networking with lots of different people. And while I was networking, that's one thing that I try to do, is try to find people that can represent us as an organization to help and get our money, 100% of our money, not 20% or 50% or even 70%, but we want 100% of anything that's given to us to go to those in need. And that's what we're doing now. We've networked, we've met lots of people, working with different foundations and organizations, and even like one-to-one. So we've got a list of over 50 people, 50 vulnerable families across the globe that we help every year. We give scholarship to students who we're doing a scholarship for several students. One is an Albanian Turkish guy, so he's of Turkish origin, who lives in Bursa, and we're giving him a year scholarship because he's got a year to finish to become a doctor. We also give money aid, a gift, a Bayram gift, which they call in Bosnia Bayram Look, which is like Bayram Look. It's very similar, but they say look instead of look. Bayram Look, we say in Turkey. They call it Bayram Look. And we give the students, and they're all medical students, all 26 of them, in a high school, a medical high school in Tuzla in Bosnia. We give them every year a small something to help them to buy anything they need for Bayram and also for their schooling. We also support some of the teachers working in those areas. We do lots of things, Aishin, all over the world. So lots of stuff to tell you about.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, what have you achieved? But already we've seen lots of images being put up on the screen. There were photographs that you sent me of all the different things that, you know, different places you've visited and different people you've helped. And obviously you've started to sort of say the sorts of things that your charity does. I mean, it seems like you've achieved a lot already. I mean, how many years has it been since the charity has been set up?
The charity was set up about 6 years ago. I can give you just a little breakdown of the last 4 years, how active it's been.
Yes, so what you've achieved, like since
2017, that's when we start. Oh, sorry, since 2016, pardon. Since 2016, we've worked in various different kind of countries. So we networked, we found people who were less fortunate than ourselves, ranging from Egypt, Bosnia, of course Cyprus, because there is people still struggling in Cyprus. So we've helped families in Cyprus, families in Turkey, and all over Turkey, not just in one part of Turkey. So families in Istanbul, families in Bursa, and of course then we had the Syrian crisis that became a big burden for Turkey, and sending aid to some of the young people, and especially the women, because they're more vulnerable, living in refugee camps. So 4 years ago, I took it upon myself to visit Turkey. I visit Turkey nearly 3 times a year, but I went straight to the east of Turkey, stayed in Gaziantep, and then we managed to hire a car, and we went right down to Urfa, and we passed many refugee camps. Although you see it on the television, it's once you go there and you see it for real, and you're actually there, that it actually hits you, and you see what a massive problem this is, not only for the host country, but for the people themselves. It's a big challenge to have running water and giving these young kids an education. And that's where I actually took it upon myself that, you know, this money has to be given directly to them. And we've been doing work in Eastern Turkey as well, and in Bangladesh, Indonesia, in the island of Lombok. We've managed to we continue on our work there. The work in Lombok happened through a friend of mine, a Turkish Cypriot friend, and unfortunately she doesn't use Facebook. But if any of her relatives are watching today, we'd like to, on behalf of Cyprus Islamic Association, we'd like to extend and send our warmth love and big thank you to Kadriye Ali, who's actually stuck in Cyprus at the moment because she can't get back. But she was the one who's been traveling and found all these people in Cairo, in Luxor, in Egypt. And we've managed to help people, especially the street children, bought them Bayram clothes and shoes the last few years. But this year it's been more difficult because when I spoke to Kadriya, she said families need money, that families need money more than they need clothes this year because of the COVID-19. People have not been able to work. And some of the images that she sent me back of people just being handed out money was quite emotional to watch that. Also in Lombok, she was the one who introduced me to the island of Lombok. For those who are viewing and don't know about the island of Lombok, it's an island and it's part of Indonesia, and it was hit by a very, very bad tsunami several years ago. Although there was not so many deaths, thank God, but the damage that it caused, the infrastructure was on a grand scale. So in the village that we're working in, the whole school and the mosque and many of the houses were completely destroyed by the tsunami. Yeah. So we supplied packages of food this year to them again. We also helped them to restore the school, which is very, very important because, you know, a house can be repaired, but the children still need to have an education. And so we helped in the restoration of the school, the roof of the school, and we also helped in restoring the mosque, which is very important for the community because the mosque in some of the islands of Lombok is a communal place where people get together, and it's not like in London where the mosque is just used for prayers. It's used for the community to get together to talk. It's like a community center. So we've done restorations for there, and also they use some of the funds to restore some of the properties, and they're really, really like thankful to all the Turkish Cypriots of the UK who have contributed to this wonderful cause.
I mean, it's amazing. You've actually outreached how many countries? Huseyin Hoca?
We have a thing that we try to reach at least 7 countries, but you know, everything works in a mysterious way. They say God works in mysterious ways. On the 20th of March, we had to pack up from work and then start working from home. And I thought, okay, this is going to be a really difficult year for raising awareness and raising funds because people are now out of work. Something miraculous happened, Aisha, working from home. And so I'll give you an example. So in 2017, we raised a total of 13,500, not for the whole year. I'm just talking about Ramadan now. 13,500 in Ramadan. In 2018, we raised £18,000 in 1 month. In 2019, we hit a record high of raising £23,000 from Turkish Cypriot community of the UK. Now, 2020, amid the COVID crisis, we have raised over £30,000 this year. So instead of being 7 countries, we've actually managed to extend our help to other places in the world where they need us.
Just shows you. But I think maybe it's because, you know, people have actually understood what's really important, you know, and yes, we're going through hard times, but probably not anywhere near as, you know, how people are struggling in these places. And obviously, like you said, when you actually show people firsthand where the charity is going and the fact that you actually travel there, you show us the pictures. And I think someone's actually sent a link. Sonu has sent some sort of link. Sonu so I think that might be to do with your charity. I'm not sure.
There are some YouTube videos that I wasn't even aware of. So some of the Bosnian students, bless them, so they made these 2 amazing videos with this very, very Ottoman music in the background, and what they actually did, it really it was quite emotional to watch. And I actually shared the photograph with our TRNC representative Oya Tunjalı at the embassy this year because they had actually painted on their school blackboard a flag of the United Kingdom representing us, a flag of North Cyprus, and a flag of Bosnia and unity, and a big thank you to everybody who sent these donations. And that really means a lot to me.
That's very heartwarming, Huseyin Hoca, to hear that. It's like bringing people together all around the world, really. We've got lots of positive comments coming in. Sekin has put iyi yayınlar, Bayram has put iyi yayınlar ve selamlar, seviliyorsunuz. That's basically a good broadcasting. Hello, and you are loved. And then the link, Chanel Ali, amazing work, Hoja. We are proud and would love to work together to grow your charity in the future, inshallah. These are all people, by the way, that are volunteering for our COVID-19 group as well. And, you know, so it's a thank you to them. And also, I'd like to say thank you to the public. Without their donations, obviously, these charities wouldn't run. That's a phenomenal record that you've hit, Huseyin Hoca, this year. It's absolutely amazing. Good Fidan, thank you for being the human you are, Huseyin Hoca. The more like you in the world, the better. 100%. I agree with that. Sultan, absolutely amazing, Hoja. Neshida, keep on doing what you are doing. You are our trailblazer. Yes, you definitely are. Byron, big respect to Huseyin Hoca for doing what you do. Chanel Ali, wow, an amazing achievement this year. And I think people are turning more to Allah and realizing how important it is to give to charity, as people are in hard times, but they want to give more also. And that's great. Thank you. And that's true. I think that is true. I mean, my next question was going to be, how do you promote the charity? But I do feel that this year, Huseyin Hoca, you've been a very pivotal person in our community in bringing everybody together, in sending out positive messages, with all of your, you know, broadcasts and everything that you do. So I'd personally like to thank you for all of the hard work that you've put in, you know, during these very hard times, having to deal with so many deaths and burials. You take it out of your time every single day to give us hope and to give us information about our religion and about lots of things, you know, morality. So I think that's really made a difference. But how else do you promote the charity?
I actually promote the charity by showing people that 100% of whatever's given to us goes. I also want to make it very clear as well, we've never actually gone on air or made public, even when I've done my live videos, I've never actually promoted my charity on any of my live videos. It's just all done by my social media and my own page. I also have the Cyprus Islamic Association page. What COVID-19 did this year, because of the funerals and because of the large amount of death that was struck by the Turkish Cypriot community, and we saw this kind of anguish and this kind of a lot of people distressed, and they wanted to help, and so the mosque played a big role. All the TV channels played a big role. Eurogench, massive big role. TCCA, lots of organizations come together to help people. Now, in Ramadan, I mean, most of our 100% of our charity work is done in Ramadan. The reason why is because it's a month of sacrifice. It's a month of piety. It's a month where you're trying to perfect yourself, to give charity, to pray, to fast. And all we ask for people is just to give us their fitra. Fitra is like £10 per person. But this year, when I was looking on a day in the evening, people just were beyond that. It was just, I can't even tell you. Like I had one night I checked the account, and there was like one person had paid £2,000 into the account, and I that actually made me have a sleepless night, because I sent him a text message and said, "Are you sure you put the right amount in? Are you sure it's not 20 or 200 the most?" And he said, "Huseyin," in Turkey, "Huseyin, helal olsun sana. Just, we see what you're doing, and it's reaching out to people that really, really need our help." And you know, if that £2,000 has helped in any way to make someone's life a little bit better, yani ne mutlu bize. I'm really proud of my community. Not me, because I'm not anything to do. It's not me. It's the people that make the charity. It's our community. I'm very proud of our community, because each one of us is an ambassador to humanity. We are an ambassador to our own country. And as I said to the representative of the TRNC, we all have a role to play. And if my role to represent the Turkish Cypriots, I'm not going to say represent Northside, because I don't have that kind of authority to represent any country, but I'm representing my community and my religion. And I feel very, very proud that a group of Turkish Cypriot people, many Turkish Cypriot people from the UK, have helped in making the lives of more less fortunate people nicer and more happier, and maybe they've had a good bayram as well through this. That makes me really happy.
We've got a few more, seeing as we're talking about Bayram, we've got a few comments. Fatima Mehmet's put respect to you, Hoca, but Shenis has said, could we also donate for Kurban Bayramı, for the sacrifice of the animal, to those around the world that your charity works with? I'm sure there will be something. Will there be something for
Kurban? we do a Kurban project. Not everybody in our community do sacrifice because they've got their own reasons. A lot of people are vegetarian. You have to recognize. My thoughts on the whole thing of Kurban is Kurban means sacrifice. It means to sacrifice something. And if you're not comfortable about doing a ritual sacrifice, but I always say this, you know, when we do our ritual sacrifices, we're not doing ritual sacrifices in the UK, because if I was to cut a Kurban here, who am I going to give the meat to, Aishin?
Yeah.
Everybody buys meat here. Even in Cyprus, I don't do them in Cyprus unless I have to. So our ritual sacrifices that we do and we arrange are usually in countries like Bangladesh or India or Pakistan, Afghanistan, Africa, of course, because people there are really, really struggling. There's communities in Africa and Asia that the only time they're going to have meat to eat or give their children a dish with some meat, lamb or goat meat is probably just at Bayram, just once a year for many people. And that's really important. So yes, we are going to have a Kurban project. If you don't feel that you want to give a ritual sacrifice during Kurban Bayramı, and you can just give a sacrifice of, you want to just give a charity, we'll make sure that goes to people that really, really need it.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually, because obviously not everyone wants to do that. But what you said about actually helping somebody overseas, I think so, definitely. It's much more useful, isn't it? And like you said, you can actually see firsthand what happens to the funds as well, which is great. Thank you very much for, you know, being, you know, sharing all of those things with us as well. Of course, it really reassures people. I mean, people are saying you're amazing. Allah, mashallah, you know, Allah kabul eylesin. You know, people are just so thankful to you, Huseyin Hoca. I know you're saying it's not you, it's a community. And of course, we are thankful to the community for their donations, for their support. But really, it's you that brought this idea together, and you that, you know, was the founder of the charity. So without you behind it, it wouldn't be moving forward. So what do you see the association moving on to in the next few years? What would you like? What developments would you like to see?
Well, I'd like to be able to expand into other places that probably, although there are international aid agencies all over the world, how much of that aid gets to the individual is another question. Yeah. As you know, lots of aid agencies take a portion for themselves, or they take a percentage for their workers. Now, none of us in Cyprus Islamic Association at Hashim Trust takes anything for ourselves. I do want to expand to other parts of the world, maybe somewhere in Africa as well. But it's all about networking and finding people that we can trust. Everything that we do is logged. Everything is photographed. We are sent messages. And I share that with everybody, because I want everyone to know that any small or large amount they've sent has reached those who are less fortunate than ourselves. So that's what I want to do. I want to try to expand into other countries. And I just want people to know that. So when we give stuff abroad, I'll give you an example in Cyprus. So in Cyprus, every year, what we do, we try to go look at regions. So if there's the Malsa district or the Karpaz district, or maybe in Lefkoşa, where there are more people who are less fortunate or struggling for reasons, we actually deliver our food parcels in our own bag. So when they pick it up and they look, and there's the emblem, the logo of the charity, and they think, oh, you know, people in London remember us, and here is. This year we had problems because this year the whole of Cyprus was on a lockdown, and so we managed to get our food parcels, 200 in total. And what we done, we had two lovely representatives. One that's been working with me for a long time. She can't speak English, but if she's watching, Hülya Nurçin, thank you very much, from Malsa. And then a very good friend of mine who has settled in Cyprus. And I'm not sure if she's been on your program or not, People call her Maidanos. Shazia, she works at the university, and she helped me. What we decided to do, because of the curfew, I felt very upset this year that many of the students this year were very vulnerable, and they had no access to get any help by the government that the government was giving the ordinary people of Cyprus, of Turkish part of Cyprus. So what we done, we managed to get all the food parcels to Shazia, and then Shazia, kindly enough, went door by door to all the students that were stuck inside their apartments. You know, all different colors, creeds. We had the black Nigerian students, students from Congo, Jordanians, people from the Far East, sending me their messages. When I watched that message, and it was during Ramadan as well, that really made me feel good. You know, like people saying thank you in their own language as well. Some were speaking in French, some were speaking Arabic, others trying to speak Turkish. And that really made us feel good. And we can share those videos. We're not sharing them to boast. We're sharing them to show people that, you know, every penny they've given has gone to a good cause.
Yeah, I don't think it's to boast. It's sharing, you know, the happiness of what you've created. I mean, that's the whole point of charity, is to help others. And obviously those that needed the help, for them to say thank you. It's very heartwarming and very reassuring. And I think definitely on an appropriate forum, you know, on your association's page or wherever, even on programs, you know, like we could share it here, obviously to do with your association. I think it's a good idea so that the public can see. I think it would be great. And it also, like you said, reassures the public where the funds have actually gone. So how has the community helped in your work? I mean, obviously you were saying about how, you know, people in Cyprus themselves, you know, during a lockdown, you communicated with an individual and you sent it to the individual, and they themselves took it upon themselves to go around and give the parcels to the students. But how has the community here helped with your charity?
Yeah, just to reflect upon the help in Cyprus. I mean, there's amazing people that work behind the scenes in charity work. That don't want their names to be mentioned. But one of my very, very close friends and cousins, I will mention his name. So Kani Osman. Kani Osman's been really kind enough for the last few years to allow me to send the funds direct to his bank account, and he goes out of his way to take the funds to the relevant people. Now, the community here, now Cyprus Islamic Association doesn't have an ego problem, doesn't want all the credit for itself. We like to extend our hand, and we want to cooperate with anybody that's helping. So we've done things with the Limassol Derneyi, and we're working at the moment very closely for the last year and a half with Çatı. So Çatı, people who know Çatı, which is the roof, and it's run by a remarkable woman called Munever. And so on Christmas Eve, Cyprus Islamic Association, also with the youth organization, the Turkish Cypriot English Londra Youth Organization, the youngsters. So we had them all on board. We had Çatı, we had Cyprus Islamic Association, all the youngsters from the youth. We all met at Charing Cross, and some of the youngsters were amazing, bringing their homemade cupcakes, which were like, people were looking at them and think, my God, these look really amazing. My wife and my son helped cook the food. We work closely with TCCA every Christmas, delivering food parcels across the capital. We work with other international organizations as well, like Who is Huseyin? And that's not me, by the way. It's an organization. And
there's an organization called Who is Huseyin? Wow.
And TCCA and Çatı came along, and it was just so nice for different groups and different organizations to come together to help people who are less fortunate. And we're not there just to represent ourselves. We're there to represent a community, and the community would be amazing, because every time I do something like this, I can't tell you how many WhatsApp calls I get, or WhatsApp messages, normal text messages. Oh, Huseyin Hoca, can we come and help you next time? We don't want anything for it. We just want to be there. And my advice to people is, you don't have to wait for me to go and do a food run with me. You can do it any weekend yourself. Just make something at home. Go down to central London. There's so many people who are homeless. Just give them some food, give them a drink and that, and you'll get blessed for it. It's an amazing thing to do.
That's true. It's true, actually. I've experienced that once. I've actually gone into central London and like given out food to the homeless, and it's actually very, very rewarding. And I actually thought it'd be maybe even a scary experience, but it wasn't. They were so welcoming and so thankful for it. So definitely, I agree with you with that one. We're sort of coming to the end of our program. We could talk for another half an hour, I think, for the wonderful things that you've done. It's absolutely amazing. And I'd like you to come on again, if that's okay, Huseyin Hoca, to give us
Definitely.
updates as to what, your charity is doing, especially once we're coming out of COVID and you have more freedom to travel and you go to these wonderful places. It'd be really great to have sort of a feedback of when you come back and you can sort of tell us, especially I like the idea that you want to help more countries. You already have a very large portfolio of countries for your organization, but I'm sure you will double and quadruple that, knowing you and your organization.
Can I just add something very quickly to the end? So I'm getting a lot of
question anyway. We've got a bit of time. We've got about 5 more minutes.
So one of the things I want to do, and I don't think I'll be able to do it next year, but maybe split it between 2 years. So maybe next year will be the first phase of it. So people who only know me from social media but receive help from us, they're actually calling me to Indonesia. They're saying, "Can't you come here on the day and be the one so that people can actually thank you and thank your organization, thank your community?" So that's something that we're working on, we're trying to do something that we're about to go to Bosnia for one day, then Egypt, then Cyprus, Turkey. But this is a bit difficult, but if we can be there to see the actual people, and then people will understand how important and how passionate I am about getting this aid and help to these people.
Yeah, and probably you will be able to expand and help more people once you're there. No doubt you'll make more contacts and connections. So yes, that's great. And hopefully in the next year or so, you'll be able to do that, Huseyin Hoca. So we've got a few more minutes left. What is the philosophy of your charity? What's the end message you'd like to give to the community with regards to your charity?
So that's a really, really good question to ask me. Okay, so charity is a foundation of our religion, and even if you're not religious, helping someone, it's a duty of all of us. It's all of our duty, if we can, to help someone who's more unprivileged or less fortunate. We do lots of different things that I didn't even get a chance to mention. We help people who are in need of an operation, people who can't, because we're very lucky in this country. We've got the NHS. In places like Cyprus and Turkey, it's a bit different. And if you haven't paid into the system, you don't get an operation. That's why you see people who do ask from time to time, can you help us? And we've helped a lot of people. Unfortunately, this is a sad part of it. Some of the people that you help don't always make it through their operation, and you've had that kind of 6 or 7 months dialogue, and you become like close to these people. They become a part of your life, and then eventually when you lose them. So we've had 3 or 4 of that kind of experience, and it's been very hard for all the members who have been involved. And I still make sure when I go to Cyprus, we lost a very young guy to cancer. We did sponsor and help him for 2 years. His dream was to become a Hoca. And I do every year when I go to Cyprus, I go to visit his grave and visit his family. And they still appreciate, and they still pray for us all. And they know that we've been there for them and we're still there for them. And I do want to do something for all these people who we lost as well. Maybe like plant a few trees, or maybe do a park in their name. That'd be something nice, so their families can go to this kind of little square or a little place where we can plant different kind of trees that signify paradise, like date trees that are mentioned in the Quran, trees that are mentioned in the Hadith. Maybe we could do something and have the name of the little park in the honor and the name of the person who passed away, so their family can know that we're still there for them, that we've done this for them as well. So that's one thing. And what makes me want to do this is because the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, has a beautiful saying: whoever sleeps on a full stomach while his neighbors are starving are not from us. You can't be part of us if you know there's people out there that need your help and you're going to sleep quite content. And when he says neighbors, he doesn't mean his direct next door neighbors. It doesn't mean being Muslim. So Cyprus Islamic Association, that we don't look at color, creed, race, or religion. Wherever there is and wherever we can reach out to, we're there for humanity. And thank you, all the Turkish Cypriot community. Not only the Turkish Cypriot community, I have a lot of Greek Cypriot people that give me money for. I have a lot of people from Arab countries who see me, and from Germany as well. So if anyone is watching from Germany or Jordan or from Dubai who have helped and contributed to this amazing work that we do, thank you all for all your help.
Yeah, and we can put the links as well anyway, and they can comment even after the program. We'll share it out so that hopefully they see your personal thanks to them. But it's just amazing. It's amazing the amount of people you've reached out to. If you counted the amount of people that you've communicated with and you've helped, it'd be thousands and millions, I think. I mean, already just in the space of half an hour, what you've mentioned is phenomenal, from scholarships to helping people through operations, through actually helping them through Ramadan, to helping villages, food during times. You were saying about the camps as well in Turkey and the refugee camps, actually going hands-on and helping them, helping in schools, having remembrance parks. I mean, it's just endless, the amount that you've done, Huseyin Hoca. I mean, is there
fountains on wells in Africa? So we've worked with other people who we've seen online, people trying to raise money to build a well in Africa, one in Cambodia, and Cambodia is not a Muslim country, but we helped in building a well there to help villagers. We helped build a mosque in Central Africa, and if Sheni's Raif is watching, thank you very much. It was a blessing to see the actual pictures of the mosque once it was constructed. It was really amazing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them have commented today, Huseyin Hoca. That's just amazing. So not only have you helped individuals, but you've actually built community projects as well. You've built mosques and helped people actually have a community centre. That's so important, especially if you're living in hard times, to know that your community are around you, and to have some sort of meeting place is essential, because that's how people can communicate with each other, because they may not be able to, see each other any other way, but having that community space is ever so important. Honestly, the work that you've done is phenomenal. Please, we'll do this again. And like you said, once we're coming out of COVID-19 as well, and obviously we've got another Bayram coming too, we can have updates as to what your association is doing and how you're developing, really, because I'm sure, some of the things that you've said, I think that we'll do that in 2 years. You'll probably do it in 6 months, knowing you. I just know it'll probably get done. And there'll be something that happens.
It'd be amazing. It'd be amazing to go and see all these people that we've reached out to. And it makes me, at the end of the day, I want to say this to everybody who's watching. This has only been achieved by everyone, people like Eurogench, who have given us the platform to reach out to people. And that's really important, having a platform to reach out. Now, we don't want a lot. We don't want a lot from anyone. Anything small helps, because when you think about £5 sterling goes a long way in somewhere like Cambodia or Bangladesh, which is like a week's wages for some people. So that really does help desperate families.
Definitely. So thanks to everybody who has donated and will be donating to our public. And obviously we'll always support you, Huseyin Hoca, especially with your association and everything that you do for the good of our community. Thank you very much for everything that you do in general, really, on a daily basis. You've given us hope, and you've informed us and educated us about our religion, about our community, and brought us together. So I'd like to personally thank you as well, especially during COVID times, watching you and hearing the examples that you've given from the Quran and all the things that you've done, all the wonderful programs that you've done also during Ramadan and during COVID-19 has been very, very helpful to all of us, I think. And obviously now with your association telling us about all the wonderful things you've done, obviously for many, many years, and to continue, is just really heartwarming and very positive. And it makes, it gives me some hope that our community is finally coming together and we're actually making a difference. So thank you very much. Thank you to all the audience for all their comments and their support. That's it from us, unfortunately, for Eurogench TV. Thank you very much again, Huseyin Hoca, and thank you to our public. That's it from Eurogench TV. Have a very good evening. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, we are Bologna, calling newlyweds or those looking for a new bedroom set. Venti 5-door bedroom set is not only glamorous and modern, but has storage inside the bed. This bedroom set was £3,700, now £2,395. Bologna, we are here for you.